day 2 of the chicken coop extension we've been working on. So Lexi's added some finishing touches on this end here we're working on. Ended up having to add some support braces in because the way we're joining the wire, we've got 10-foot pieces of wire because that's all Tractor Supply had in stock right now. So we've got the 3-foot by 10-foot. So each one of these sections on here, there's a total of 15 foot with a 2-foot doorway. So it's a total of 13 feet. And then you take that and it's about 6.5 feet, something like that. So if you do the 6.5 feet, we had just enough to do these sections here on the end. And so we've got 4 more rolls, and each one of those are 10 foot each. And then we're going to use those across the back here when we go across the back. And then we're going to add that white PVC board. We've got some pieces now, but we're going to have to figure out where we're going to get the rest, because the last time I got it at a discounted deal from Dinwiddie Discount Lumber. So I'm going to have to figure out where I'm going to get that again. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to at least build a door and put just a regular wooden door with just the screen on it with a fence wire like we've done here. So a lot of folks use regular chicken wire. And I'll tell you, as you can see, this is not just normal chicken wire. This is the hardware cloth. So kind of see that in the light there. We use hardware cloth because it's got these smaller holes, about finger size holes. Keeps snakes, mice, just about everything you can think of out of there. And that's the biggest concern of using this. The only time we had 2 snakes get in the chicken coop this year, but that was while the door of the coop was open. So that was kind of our fault, I guess you could say. Although it's just part of it. So we're going to keep on rolling on. And we're going to try to get these last 4 pieces on, and then I'll probably get a video of me building the door, getting some measurements of that. So like I say, she's tidying up over here. You want to say hello? Hello. So we'll be back in just a few. All right, so we cut our boards a little bit smaller than the initial opening of the coop itself. So the coop itself is about 65, so we took off 1.25 inches just to do with swelling and whatever like that. So it's also a 2-foot opening. So open that up to about 23.5. So it gives a 1/2 inch of flex on that. I'm gonna grab my screws and we'll pop that together. All we'll do is just pop a couple screws in it. Doesn't have to be nothing extravagant. Just make sure it's plumb with the outside, flush with it right there. So it should pull itself together when it's all said and done. Just like that. So then put one in the bottom side. Pretty good there. And then before I do that side, I'll go down to the bottom. Get this end right. Make sure I'm still square. And like I've said before, it's a chicken house. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to work. So that in. Now that's pretty square across there, which is not going to be perfect because the lumber's not perfect. As you can see, it's discolored. So just kind of working with what we've got instead of going out and buying a whole bunch of new wood. I bought new wood at the initial start of this, but now, of course, that one's split, but it's okay. So we're gonna put a second one in it from the top. It didn't even catch on the first one, so even better. Neither one of them caught because they shot too low. So that's another thing that you get when you deal with junk wood. It comes through the bottom. So, like I say, it doesn't help. The bottom of that, it's not exactly plumb either. So, flip that around. Try to actually get something we can grip on. And if I have to, I'll shoot the screw in from the other direction. But I'd really prefer to not do that because it's such a wide span. Definitely grabbed something that time. So, like I say, if I have to, make it come from the other way. Should be tight enough. And then once we get the other side locked in, it'll really be good. So, all I'm doing here is I've got me a spacer. I determined it was 2 inches in total between the top and the bottom if I set the door all the way down. So now I've made it where there's 1 inch here and 1 inch at the bottom with my spacers. So now what I can do, we've got this center board here that we're going to end up putting that white PVC on. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to make it to where my latch was in the center. So now all I can do is, I'm going to need to hold my screws with something, but two, thank you. So two, I can measure from the top of my, or the bottom of my door to where my block is here. So I can come across and I can say, okay, I need to be at about 28 1/4 at the bottom of that center block for it to line up with this center beam here. So now if I hold this up here, I come right across. I can also take this and I can mark it straight across. So I know my board has to be between there, and it's a 2x4 laying flat, the same as this one is. So as long as my board lines up in between those two marks, I'll know that I'm right for my latch. We're out here, day 3, working on this chicken. Not quite. There you go. So we're out here day 3, working on the chicken house. And Lexi just got these boards screwed up here. What do you got? Let me see.
I don't know how to read it. Come on.
Let me read the tape measure, baby. You hold the end.
It's 64 and 1 big line, 1 medium line.
Okay, I can't.
Don't laugh at me.
Okay, well, look, here, you take that end. Okay, you take that end. Now go up there, remeasure it.
Oh, I'm telling you.
I want it to be right.
It's one little line.
64 and 5/8, baby.
nobody taught me how to read a tape measure, okay? I just go by the line. That's why you have the lock button, so you know exactly where you lock it.
Anyway, we're out here doing this today after work. Trying to get a couple things taken care of. We ended up buying the PVC boards a little longer than what we really needed. So, or not longer, but wider than what we needed. So I ripped them on a trailer over there. I ripped them, and now we're cutting them up,
Might be a little long.
getting them right to length. So we're gonna get this one cut up and put on. Progress update. Got a couple more pieces on. Now we got this one here in the middle we're about to put on. If I can balance it, play a balancing act here. Get it where you want it on your end, honey.
Lower it on your end, right there.
All right. Yeah, about right there. All right. Cool deal. Yeah, we're just about lined up there.
Pick it up on your end, one. Pick it up on your end.
That right there.
Tab it more.
Well, I'm well above the 2x4, baby. See?
Yeah, but so is that one.
Okay, that's fine.
Pick it up and tab it more. Perfect, leave it right there.
All right.
I promise.
Okay. So, not only does this just make it look pretty, but as you can see, where all of our wire joins across the middle, this right here prevents the wire from coming back off. So even though we stapled the wire, this actually secures it a little bit better.
I thought it got one on.
And it's that lovely time of year where it gets dark a little early, so we're getting all we can done in the little bit of time that we have. And hopefully we'll have this front side wrapped up tonight at least. And I'd like to possibly get a piece or two for the door cut. So hopefully we'll get all that taken care of. So today is day 4 of working on this chicken house, pen, whatever you want to call it. And we kind of took a break yesterday. We had some friends over for dinner, so we're going to continue on today. First off, like I was saying, the boards that we got to do this, they're 11.5 inches wide. So I'm coming through, I'm marking them. If you can see there, I'm marking them at 3.5 inches, 7 inches, and 10.5. So that way I'm getting a 3.5 inch board all the way across. And so now we're going to go ahead and mark where they go. We'll mark a couple lines anyway across where you need to be. So, like I said, each one of these boards would be 3.5, so we get right at 3 boards per board to make the coverings for that wire and the 2x4s. Like I said, it's just kind of cosmetic, but it serves a bigger purpose when it comes to actually.
The ends justify the means. Said the ends justify the means.
That's right, Eve. So they it actually covers that wire, holds that wire on a little bit better. So there's quite a bit of PVC board. That's the other good thing. If you don't know what PVC board is,
It sucks.
it doesn't suck. It's
hard
actually
to work with.
it's actually pretty great once it's all said and done. Like if I could have bought these pieces that were already cut and everything like that, didn't have to worry about it, then that would be pretty good. So, but they'll never rot because they're PVC. So,
Where am I marking?
so 3.5.
Boop. Right here.
Yeah, 3.5, 7, and 10.5.
Bing.
All right, so yeah, you're gonna do that all the way down, and then once we have
7, 10 and a half.
Yep. So.
Okay, Mr. YouTube.
Mr. YouTube, that's a new one. So, yeah, get these cut, and once I start cutting them, I guess I'll try to get her to get you a shot of how dirty this actually is of a job. If my skill saw is any,
It's like it's snowing.
Is any indication of how bad it is. It's like
I knocked a lot of it off yesterday.
It's like that spray snow that you get from the craft store, but
just stickier.
Just very sticky and gets all over everything. So
it was in my underwear, and I had clothes on. That just tells you it gets everywhere.
So we will get we have a visitor, but we will get a shot of what it looks like cutting these and all once we get going.
No, ma'am.
So, got one done there. And as you can see, pretty nasty to deal with. So, we will get rolling, get these other two cut. We'll have to flip the board around. But for the most part, that's all that it's entailed in it. So, almost messed my blade up back here, but that's because didn't feel like moving it. But we didn't mess anything up. So, that's all that matters. And keep on rolling. All right, got them all cut. She's got the screws in that one I've already cut there, which was 72 and 5/8. This one's, well, you got to get it lined up. I'm just holding it up there. This one was 72 and a half, so only 1/8 inch ground difference, but still pretty close to one another.
Okay, that's cool.
You got to watch them things. They don't quite fit in the bit like they're supposed to. So, and the PVC being hard doesn't quite help. So, how's that look?
Looks pretty good to me. Looks like nobody's gonna see it because it's being blocked by this building right here.
So once you get another one, in it, and I can go measure another one. But yeah, pretty simple and easy. So then all we have left is this end, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that way. So yeah, only one across the bottom, one across the middle, and then I'll just join the two top and bottom there. So should be pretty easy and simple. All right, well, it's getting dark out here, and I must say, I think we did pretty well today. We got everything tidied up. Got the end on, that was the main thing. Only have a few boards across the back. I don't even know if I'm gonna video myself doing that because it's so little bit to do. Then all I gotta do is cut a door in there, and I'll show you how I do that. I'll probably add that on to the back end of this video. But got the door on. Everything is lined up and well. It is quite tight right now, but I did that purposefully so when the weather gets to it. The last one we did bowed towards the inside after everything was all said and done. So now I've got this one to where it's bowing to the outside now. So hopefully once the moisture gets in the air and everything, then it'll bow to the inside. So yeah, as of now though, it's pretty much ready to go. I'm gonna put some poles on the roosted poles, and like I say, going to cut an opening, put a door flap on it, so we can separate this side from the other, because eventually I do want to build another coop on this end, or put a house some kind of housing solution on this end. But as for now, that's going to be it for today. And like I say, on the back end, I may just add a short video in of me cutting that door and showing how I do that, just so you can see how I try to safely protect the chickens from getting tore up by that wire. Because if I just were to go in there and snip that wire, it's going to tear the feathers off and all kinds of stuff. So before it gets too dark out here, and it's getting a little chilly because it's that time of year where it's like 59 degrees outside when the sun starts going down. So as of now, that's it for this video, and catch you next time. All right, in the last video, I did mention that on the back end, I would add a video of the door. Since then, I have added the door. So I'll go ahead and show that. And there's the door. I am gonna actually put a door on it, but it's nothing but the same framing as the interior, like this, with a 2x4 and then the whiteboard on the outside. So I did make it big enough for the chickens to get in and out of. The fence is squeezed in the middle between the two, so you don't see the seam, just like this. But yeah, it's pretty simple, pretty basic, and that's about it. So that will conclude this little two-part series, I guess, of our chicken coop. They're quite happy, and the last thing I got to do is throw on some roosting poles here, and they'll be ready to go. Catch y'all on the next one.